they won 3 in a row against the Padres. Dak looked as good as 18 in a row at one point. That was like the Dakota you expected early on. He was over his Tommy John.
Yeah.
But he lost his feel at some points this season. So, I mean, that's welcome news considering they got issues going into Chicago about, I mean, we're going to see Packy start. They got guys who are hurt. The good news,
Randy,
for the Cardinals is that, and I was surprised by this, Jack Flaherty will be throwing a bullpen today and then likely go on a rehab assignment. Now, he's still building up his last, they call it up and downs, Charlie. You know, it makes me sound like a baseball insider. Basically threw 40 pitches with a break in between. And so now he's got to build up. So if he's at 40, you figure 50. It's going to be a few starts before he comes back. Hopefully everything's all right. But that's good news. The other ironic thing, not ironic, but weird, is that, like, to me, to stretch the lineup out, like you had a historic month for Goldie, kept the streak going. Yesterday we saw Arenado, who had a bad May, start June off, you know, with a bang.
Bombing.
3 hits, including a home run. And but you're not getting a lot of, like, connection with the lineup because you're missing a guy like Tyler O'Neill in the middle of it. So Tyler O'Neill has a shoulder impingement.
what does that mean?
It means there's like a little pull in there. So he got an MRI done, and they found a little fluid pocket in there by the rotator cuff.
Okay.
I say this because that's what I was told. I'm not trying to act like.
I know.
Trust me, I'm not smart enough to be a doctor. Sometimes in sports, the reporters try to be doctors, and I think we sound like idiots. But that's what I was told. I don't know exactly what it means. Anyway, the point is, it's pretty clear that the Cardinals felt he should be out on a rehab assignment now, but he didn't feel ready because when a manager says Tyler doesn't feel his throwing progressions are where he wants them to be, you never hear that from a manager. So there's something going on. So Tyler feels one way. He said he's going to go out and rehab this weekend, so they're close. But my point is they need to get that guy back for the offense to deliver on the promise of this offense.
Yeah, all due respect to the bottom half of the order, and that's why you got to give the Cardinals a ton of credit for sweeping a good team like the Padres, where in the finale you got great production from the first half, but you are rolling out a bottom half of the lineup of Corey Dickerson, our guy Newt, Sosa, Kiz, and Bader, and the bottom half of the lineup gave you absolutely nothing yesterday, and you still won a game. It got dicey at the end, obviously. But because you got guys like Arenado and Goldie, who are paid $25, $30 million a year to do, especially Goldie, what he's been doing, and Arenado can also be at that level. The fact that you're able to complete that sweep, I mean, that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yesterday was pretty lean.
Except for Kiz, who's great.
Well, of course Kiz is great.
I was watching him, man. He looked good in the process. He looks confident. He does.
He might be the best player in the history of baseball.
I think you're right on that. And he's on our show every single day.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that part.
Big old day from Goldilocks yesterday. His bat continues to suck. That's when the 3-1-4. I didn't say that. He did have an unbelievable catch, and he almost robbed a home run. I see everything, Jimmy. When I watch the games, I see everything. He had a sick catch. And when he falls like Superman style like that.
You love it.
I do, but I look at his shoulders. And I just know, like, I've had so many shoulder injuries, though when you dive and extend your arms like that and fall flat on your stomach, I can't believe his shoulders don't sub-blocks. And
I don't know what that is. Is that like an impingement?
It comes out and goes back in because when you fall like this, like he
makes
pressure,
catches all the time and does the Superman sprawl after.
He's an athlete, man. He looked good in that process. So I'm sticking up for Harrison Bader, 3-1-4.
I can't believe you don't like him.
I do. I just stuck up for him.
I know, but it was like a first.
Yeah,
I want you
well,
to...
he had a good game. Although his bat kind of does suck, though. He is right on that.
No, he's a 250 hitter,
yesterday,
which is above league average. Look, I'm not trying to say his offensive numbers are Hall of Fame. I've said it before. He could be hitting 230, and he's my center fielder because he's the best in baseball. And a play like that, where that's a trajectory changer.
2 inches. He almost caught that one in the outfield too. Over the.
So
ball.
I agree. The bottom of the lineup isn't good. That's why I bring up you got to get a guy like O'Neill back in there, but Bader still is going to do what he's going to do and help you in other ways. And so I love Yepes, but he has cooled off. He's getting a hit here or there, walk here or there, but he's not getting kind of the explosive hits that we saw early on. What do you think of Yepes? Do you think pitchers are catching up a little bit?
I think they get a book on you. I still think he's going to be really good. when he started, he's hitting 350, 360. I mean, you knew that wasn't going to continue. So I still think he's going to be a really good, productive big league hitter.
He did a double yesterday, didn't he?
Had a couple RBIs. Yeah. Big picture, I just wonder with Yepez, big picture, and Gorman, and this is more of it's not a 2022 question, more down the road, but you don't really want to have two guys on the same team that are both DHs. Like in a different situation, if you didn't have Arenado, I think you're fine with Gorman at third. And also, Gorman may at the end of his career have played more corner outfield than any position.
I think you're right. I think
Yepez, like Gorman is much more athletic than Yepez. I just don't think you can have two guys where you're really kind of trying to figure out a defensive lineup every day.
I think when you have a pitching staff built the way the Cardinals do to lean on your good defense, and then you have guys shifting positions, you're not the same defensive team as if, you have Edman at second. And let's be honest, like DeYoung, who apparently is picking up a little bit, is probably the best defensive shortstop maybe they have in the entire organization. So now you have other guys there, and maybe Edman's a shortstop now so I agree with that. And then the other thing about Gorman, so he's been out with back tightness. Well, the back tightness is something he's dealt with. And Ollie used the term manage that, which for a young player who came up and everyone's like, this kid is the real deal, that what he was doing at the minor leagues can translate to the majors. Oh, but he also has a back issue, which those are some of the worst things to manage. I hope everything's all right with that guy. When I heard that, it was like, and I'm a rights holder, so I see everything through rose-colored glass. No, I'm just saying, I'm not a doctor.
It ain't good.
But when you say
back issue?
when a guy has ongoing back issues at that age, you know what I do? I raise an eyebrow a little. I raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, man, back issues.
What do you think, Nate?
What do you think, Sir Nathaniel?
I didn't know that. That's terrible.
That's why you got to watch the pregame show.
Gorman needs to be in the lineup like every day. In fact, I guess it was 2 games ago against a lefty, he wasn't in there. I was sort of shocked, but then I found out that he had the back stiffness. So that's too bad because you need one extra piece in this lineup. And whether that's Gorman or O'Neill comes back and he's hitting, then you look full. But right now, like Charlie said, the bottom end of the lineup, I wish Newpar would get going.
Right, I agree.
It's perplexing. I don't know. It's almost like he just needs one big hit. He had a chance the other night with 2 guys on, could have won the game, but
he had a good
hasn't
play.
happened yet.
And we are seeing a lot of Albert where the matchups aren't the best for him because he's the best option.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do something with Dickerson. What do you think of the team as it sits right now, Seth?
I like where we're at. We're 4th best in run differential behind the Dodgers, Mets, and the Yankees. So
I was not aware of that.
And even when we were struggling, I still think we were top 10. So I like where we're at. I mean, we're doing really well. Bullpen could be a little bit better. There's still kind of like this up in the air status on where everybody is. I mean, I guess Helsley's the closer now.
He's the closer.
Yeah,
they'll never say, but he's the closer.
Yeah, and I guess he didn't pitch yesterday because he had pitched the previous 2 days.
Yeah, and he pitched the other day. He pitched with a 3-run lead, which I was like, well, I'm not a guy like questions everything because most moves are 50-50. Like Ollie knows what he's doing, but I would not have Helsley with a 3-run lead out there because then you're going to use him up there. But I guess you wanted to put that W in the win column.
But I do think that I know Yepez has done pretty well, and like you said, he cooled off. But I do think when Gorman comes back healthy, he should be the DH or Donovan, one of the two. But Donovan has earned that right to be an everyday player right now. He's been incredible. And then you throw Flaherty into the rotation. Our rotation's going to be really good. So I like where we're going. We have a good shot to beat the Brewers.
Donovan can play anywhere. Now, granted, we've seen, he's had some mishaps out there too. I'm not trying to say he's been Gold Glove, but he's been pretty solid overall considering he's there, he's at second, he's at first, he's in right field. But he gives you a really good at bat, and that's almost cliche, but it's true in this case. He's deep in counts, and then like there's times he's facing like a veteran starter, veteran reliever, and by now you know the book on him. He's going to give you a lengthy at bat, and he walks, and I'm like, how does he do that?
You talking about Donovan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a sick hair.
I mean, he's getting hits. He's last I looked, he's over 300. He's been real productive, but he's also like he's like working veteran pitchers.
Good. Wear him out.
How does that happen,
Carpenter
though?
style.
And
Although
that's
it is
where-
boring sometimes.
And that's where we complain a lot about the Cardinals, and they're 2 games back, and 2 of their 3 starting outfielders haven't played recently. You have two main cogs in your rotation, both hurt.
Yeah.
And that's why baseball is not the sport to have the hot takes every day. That's football. Football, you play 16, 17 games,
Yeah,
you
man.
play 12, 13 in college, and you can really overreact. Baseball, we overreact all the time. And here we still have, 100 games left.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals will get healthier, and they're in a good spot.
When O'Neal comes back, do they drop Dickerson? Spartan 4-4. What up, dude?
Yes.
Yep. You heard it first. You heard it first here.
No, it's not his batting average. That's not an indicator that they might have issues with Dicker. Yeah, what are they paying him? $5 million? He hasn't been. I think what they were hoping for, obviously. But the other thing is, in left, he's got a bad shoulder, right? And so you can see the throws are difficult for him, and teams are going to take advantage of that.
Pop quiz, Charlie. Pop quiz for you.
All right, here we go.
Goldie, 23 game hit streak. Who else has a longer hit streak in the MLB? Go.
In baseball right now,
He's got red hair. God, I just gave it up. Damn, I should.
Justin Turner?
Man. Yeah. I think he's 24. All right, do my research. I could be wrong on that, actually. I could get him mixed up with another redhead, but I believe it is Justin Turner has 24 game hit streak. That's a long time. What's the longest?
At all time?
Yeah.
DiMaggio,
Joe
right?
DiMaggio,
How long?
56.
56, baby.
Who
Jolton
came-
Joe.
Anybody else come
And
close
then
to that?
he had a game where he didn't get a hit, and then I think he had like 24 more or
Yeah.
something like that.
Pete Rose got to about, 44?
44.
What did
No, it's Trey
Luis.
Turner with the hitting streak.
Trey
isn't it?
Turner. My bad. I'm
Well,
not
he
gonna
doesn't
pop
have red
quiz.
hair.
What am I
Well, here's the
talking
thing.
about? God.
I used to pay attention to fantasy baseball more, and I don't. And I know Justin Turner's on one of my teams. I'm
Trey
thinking,
Turner.
I don't feel like he's been that good lately.
No, he hasn't. Trey Turner. It's
And
the
that-
last name that screwed me
I
up.
knew someone had a 24, and I forgot who it was. And then you said a redhead, and then I was like, what other redhead could have a hitting streak that isn't just?
Well, I messed that one up. Oh, God. Somebody chimed in and they said, "Do you guys see the golf match yesterday?" Is a golf match? Is that what it is, Sir Nathaniel?
The match.
Yeah,
The golf
I didn't even know
match.
it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You didn't watch it? I was going to
No.
kick it to you.
I had a golf. I had a golf lesson, so
Oh.
working on my own match.
Working on that swing.
That's right.
Damn, I got to do
Stop
that.
coming over the top.
So what
Yeah.
happens? Like the coach is behind you, holding your hips as you take a swing
Yeah,
and stuff.
we get noodles out, we get the cones out, we get the iPad out.
What? Where are you going?
Family golf.
Oh.
I like that.
My guy Rob Sidorsek. He's actually I used to play golf with John Calloway down in Springfield pretty much a lot, and this is his stepdad. So
So wait, are these free lessons?
no,
They are
Hell
now.
no.
They
Yes,
are now.
There it is.
I don't know.
What's
about
his
that.
name?
I don't take payola.
What's his name?
Rob Sidorsek.
Why not?
Peyote.
No, okay,
Yeah,
now
that's a good question.
what-
Why not?
You have to get golf lessons, though.
I'm calling Rob right now. I'm
Good
calling
for a
him.
tune-up.
You got to have a tune-up, dude.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So when you said you golf with a Callaway, is that from the Callaway Callaways?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was like, that's probably a pretty good hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this Callaway guy?
I think folks would be interested in your personal life, like what you do on. I am.
Yeah. It's a good life.
I am curious in nature.
Well,
He is.
I am
mean,
curious.
it is like you know what? My buddy yesterday, because I was barking about a few things that I didn't like about something in sports, and he goes, "Yeah, it really seems to be affecting your life. You golf 4 times a day, do whatever you want, whenever you want." And I was like, "Well,
You do have a cool life. I am very curious your life. You're
here's
a
the thing,
go-getter.
I'm
You're cruising around.
spontaneous,
You're
so-
single. I'm curious.
It's spontaneous because I don't have any, like my day's over at 2. I
hear
can kind
you.
of go do things and.
Yeah.
Here's
Regroup.
what I like about you the most. Okay,
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're a young broadcaster, probably better than the rest of us.
I don't.
Look crazy.
And
Look crazy.
but like you're still like anyone else would be like, I got to sit and listen to these guys. I could be doing this, and
getting
then
work done.
I have a show like I have a show, like I'm going to focus on that because I don't want to sit here and babysit these idiots.
Yes.
But you're never like that. I would be.
No.
I would hate us.
No.
I did watch a little bit of that. Though,
Maybe a
I'm not lying.
little. Maybe a
No,
little.
not at all.
I did. Well, he's working back
No, yes, no.
there. We,
Of course not, Tim.
No.
Of course not. I think you're great.
Tom Brady's good at golf, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, he's
Yeah.
just good. All 4 of those guys were rocking it. They had a good time, man. What course was that? Because it looked unbelievably pretty. It should be. He don't know. He didn't watch it.
Why was it on a Wednesday?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't even know it was happening until I saw a tweet. Somebody, and this was joking, but somebody tweeted out, hey, Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, they're at practice right now while the 4 best quarterbacks in football are playing golf.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, that's on tonight?
Like, oh, they can't play golf and like pump
No,
up.
I think the guy was joking. But
okay.
still, why have that on a Wednesday?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure previously it's been on a weekend, which you would just think that would draw more.
Speaking of golf, by the way, which we're all over the place, but I just don't care. It's Thursday. Where we at tomorrow, by the way, just so we know?
St. Louis Equipment, baby. Well,
baby.
you weren't wrong
Okay.
because he owns so many companies.
That's right.
He's got St. Louis Equipment. He's got St. Louis Lawn Care. He's got LawnCube.com.
Dang.
Tim Jenkerson.
Tim
We
Jenkerson,
are
baby.
at St. Louis Equipment. They got the big show. He's been doing all kinds of social media, showing off all these mowers,
Yeah, baby.
trimmers. We're going to have one of those contests like those. You ever, back in the day, they had those ESPN contests where they had the lumberjacks and they're sawing.
Yes.
Yes.
Jimmy wants to do that.
We're going to do that.
Yeah, we're going to film Jimmy.
Probably not, but we'll ask him.
I'm going to film Jimmy just
I
trying
just
to start
wonder-
a damn.
Because this will be our
Chainsaw.
first remote that I've done with you guys, and it's been my experience that a remote can go either way. Sometimes there's no table. Sometimes like it's uncomfortable because we're outside and the owner of the business forgot that he was doing it, and so we're outside. And you're
happens.
ending up with some kind of malt box on the ground with headphones huddled over it.
Where was that at?
So are we all set up to do this properly?
100%.
Oh, here's another thing too.
Yeah.
Like, are this connection right?
Yeah.
I've seen
Poor
it all
Seth,
with
yeah.
Andy's show.
Oh.
Honestly.
And Andy's probably
With-
staring into your soul.
Well, no, he shows up smack dab on when the show starts, so there's nothing he does. Like he can do.
Funny how that,
That was
works.
a shot right
Love
there,
him.
Seth, but I like it.
I love Andy. I
we-
love him.
You just wish he
And
would show up a little earlier.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm not the most innocent one in that sense.
Thank
but-
you.
No, it's more at the places that we broadcast it at. Like there'll be people sitting at the table that we've been had reserved for 3 months straight. And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were going to be here." It's
Yeah,
like
'cause-
we've been here since Friday, every Friday for the past 4 months.
I can't wait. So
No
you're going
table.
to be with us
Right
now,
on
right?
time.
Yeah.
Now
Right
are we
on
going to have the setup like
Could be
you
big league.
like you
I don't
always
do
call me
things-
Jimmy the tech guy.
Yeah.
Like I can help with the connections. So if you want me to get there early,
I think we'd be better off
Where,
just plug and play.
where was
Show
Seth
up.
at the other day where it didn't work? It was a corner pop, and then I could just picture Andy just staring.
Dude, we had a little problem at Top Shooters a couple weeks ago.
Oh, and then Big Timmy
But
out there.
actually, we kind of blamed you because you took our equipment that we use
What the
every
hell?
Friday, and then because you had to do your show,
Wow.
do the show from home, we got
Saving lives.
a different unit that wasn't ready. Like the internal settings were not.
wait, are you
configured.
telling me though that
Oh,
590 The Fan has 2 mobile units?
We got I think we got.
And then they
three.
blame
the
me.
bell.
And they blame me
I love Dave
for doing
Sobris.
God's work.
This
Was
might
Tim
not
chirping
be.
me?
This might not be the best
didn't
endorsement
tell
for
Tim.
future remotes. I know that tomorrow is actually going to be
Yeah,
fantastic, and we are because we're talking about it now. We'll be from St. Louis Equipment, 7 to 10. It is your premier outdoor power equipment business serving the entire St. Louis area. They got the best brands like Skag Power Equipment. You can tell I know about all these brands like Skag, Wright Commercial Mowers. I do know. He talks about the Wright mowers all the time. Those are the best. Husqvarna, handheld trimmers, blowers, chainsaws. They have the tools to get the job done right. St. Louis Equipment, they won't just sell you the mowers and the small engine, all this equipment. They will repair yours. Repairing the small engines, we're talking lawnmowers, trimmers, and blowers. Come check them out, stlouisequipment.com, and we'll be there. We'll do demonstrations.
Dude, I'll start up that chainsaw, baby.
Here's the other. I want to see that. But here's the thing. I've also done remotes for a morning show where we're saying, come by and say hi, and you get there and they go, no, we're not open.
Yeah.
We're not open. People, well, why are we doing a remote? So we're saying, come say, and there's like, actually, someone will stop by and it's not open. They'll knock on the window and wave. Like, do we want people to go?
Listen, we've vetted all of this. I have talked. I'm serious. I've emailed with Tim Jenkerson.
Yeah.
And I said, because you and I did the show 12 to 2.
Yeah.
And so when we shifted, I said, now we got the morning show. He wanted to do a remote in the spring. And I said, just so you know, I don't know what time your hours are, but we're now 7 to 10. He said, that's perfect, because I believe the trade show starts at 7:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
We've vetted all
So
this.
we want, I know,
And
but when
verified.
instead of
verified.
just saying yes, well, like if I say, do we know that, and when someone says, listen, and they, as you just did, that
Oh, yeah.
usually tells me we have no idea, but you do have an idea.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. No, I'm going to be honest with you. My relationships with the sponsors that I do reads for, we text each other,
Oh.
we call each other,
Yep.
we email each other. There's a constant flow of information.
That's right.
That's what you do, baby.
We know these people.
Can I
we,
get-
we meet up with Ryan Kelly, with James Carlton. We talk with them
And
so that when we come on the radio, we're not going, James Carlton.
Carl Time.
He does insurance, and I heard he's good. No, we get to know these people.
Yeah, and
we
when
work
go,
with them.
And when we go to the remotes, we talk to people. We don't just come in. I'm going to go there. I'm going to high five people. I'm going to try some stuff out. I'm going to get on some lawnmowers. I'm going to start some chainsaws. Yeah.
Do you think, because I've never met Tim, do you think
guy.
I could get his cell phone and we can start texting? Because I'd like to be friends with him.
You should, but you'll do what Andy did. Andy, I know he just Andy
did he do
weaseled his
again?
way into a
Business.
trade. I just know
Listen to
Andy.
me.
Is he? Let
Don't-
me ask you this: Is Andy all of a sudden on the podcast once a show? Is he mentioning St. Louis Lawn Care now?
Never. Are you
He's
kidding?
got something.
No.
He's got something.
Well, he's
going.
got another radio show, and he does different things here and there. You think I'm going to let that? No. I got my foot down
Can he
on that.
edit it in?
No, you can't, because I listen.
Can Brody?
Brody ain't going to do it. Brody works for me.
What if he actually breaks Brody off?
I'll bag him up.
a cut.
No. I got to go by Andy's house and just snoop through it and see what the hell he's holding from me. Because I know a lot of sponsors send like all kinds of cool gear and stuff. And yes, I want his children to get it because I love his children more than
you
him.
get enough free stuff.
I get
though.
enough. Well,
you get enough free.
But that's all I wear is free stuff. So I need a lot.
Like an Arenado jersey.
But I have a thing I want to do with that.
By the way-
I want to get that signed somehow and then give it to a kid, and then we'll put a camera on us and we'll look like heroes.
No, I'm not doing something for the camera. If you want an Arenado jersey, I will give it to. And if you told me I know a kid who loves Nolan,
Yes.
I don't want you to go find a kid now that loves him. But if
I
you
know a
told me,
kid.
if you told me, I got a kid who loves. Give me that
does.
jersey. Can you get him to sign it? I would do it. But now it seems manufactured,
It kind of
and
does.
I don't want to do it.
Damn it, I shouldn't have said that. But I
I'm
was thinking,
curious about this.
Thinking about the kids.
Because the read we do says 25,000 fans ages 16 and older. As I was watching the game yesterday on Bally's, they were calling it Arenado Kids Jersey Night.
Yeah, but 16 kid.
He said 16 and over.
This read says 16 and older, 25,000 fans.
Look at that thing.
But I believe on the TV broadcast, they called it Arenado Kids Jersey Night.
Yeah, like I'd want to give that to a kid. Dude, he's a stud. There's so many kids that want that. I can't believe they're handing out a jersey. That's nice.
I just picture you going to an elementary school day camp
Yeah.
and saying, is anyone who doesn't feel well today want an Arenado
Yeah.
jersey? You're finding a kid
Yeah.
who you can give this to.
And he'd be happy.
I know, but I'm not going to sign unless you already knew the kid.
There's a billion of them. He's a popular guy. I know a lot of kids.
You
that
do
like
enough
that.
I am
stuff.
an old lady, and
That's
that's
right.
fine.
And that's right.
Because we're on the topic, let's just tell everybody. It's a week from tomorrow. It's June 10th. Cardinals hosting Tommy Pham and the Reds. That night, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older bringing home the Nolan Arenado jersey,
yeah.
courtesy of Scott Credit Union. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions. And you know what? The logo, it's just a nice little logo. By the way, all these jerseys now have sponsors on them anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a nice little, what would you call that? Nondescript logo for
Nice. I like that.
Scott
I like it
Credit
too.
Union.
Looks
it's a nice
good.
looking jersey.
It looks good. I don't like the jerseys, the unis in the NHL that have, like they have Stiefel now, and it kind of like it blends into the color scheme. But some of the unis don't have. They have like a green thing, and then the jerseys are blue or whatever, and it looks kind of goofy. But
Let me say this, because it is Hot Take Central. I am an opponent of logos on jerseys, and at Bally's Sports Midwest, we would never do something like that.
Never.
Of course, we sold our naming rights to Bally's.
do you give
Irony right there, Trey.
314? Do you give DP57 a 2-year, $10 million deal?
Yes.
5 apiece.
Yes, and you know what? It will probably be less. I'll bet you get him for $4 million per. I think he wants to come back. He's made a boatload of money already.
Yeah.
I know hometown discount you frown on, but sometimes a guy's comfortable where they're playing. It might be at the end. You know, a lot of times guys are looking for that one big one before they get out. I have a feeling he wants to play here.
Sometimes it costs you more money leaving. You know?
Yeah.
So it does. You got to get another house. You got to
Yeah.
take care of this house. You got to do this. You got to put your kids. It's a pain in the ass to go to a different
And if
city.
you like the guys you're playing with and the money's similar,
Kids in hockey and stuff
Yeah.
here, that goes a long. You're going to take your kid out of hockey here and then move where? Where do you want to sign?
You know what I'm going to do?
I don't know.
I'm going to start texting him now.
Tell him.
I'm going to start texting him and say,
actually.
you don't want to break up our relationship, even though he would be like, who is this?
I want to. He's such a good golfer. I need to go get lessons if you're going to have golf with any of those kind of guys. Because it's cute. It's cute and funny
to
off
his
the
guy.
first
What-
few tees
what-
when you suck.
What's your guy's name?
Rob Sidorsek, and I
And
forgot.
He's St. Albans guy.
He likes Rob because he said Rob's really handsy and he likes it.
Them handsy folk.
Stricky yesterday, I was driving around. I had a big errands day yesterday.
What'd he do?
Ran a lot of errands. He was on with Frank Cusimano.
Yeah.
And Frank asked him specifically about DP57. And Andy said, if you're going 2, it'll probably be 10. And maybe the Blues could even stretch that to 11 and give him that 5.5 number. That's what Strick said yesterday on
Wow.
the radio.
Okay.
That
you're-
seems fair to me.
If you're a team that believes it's going to the postseason again, which the Blues do, and as they should, you want that guy. Okay?
Yeah, you do.
There's going to be stretches like he's not the same guy. He's not going to wow you with his skating. You know, in a playoff series, he will show up.
He will
and
get
he
the
will
job
get you
done.
important goals.
Yep.
I'm paying for that.
I agree with that. And he's good in the locker room, and people feed off his energy and stuff like that. Although he will go through a stretch where he's going to get hurt, of course. He's going to look slow at times, but damn, he's going to score that big-time goal. He's going to hold the puck. Yeah, man. You got to keep him around.
There's certain guys like in sports where you're like, I'm 59, I'm an old,
Yeah.
I have a kid, I have things I have to do. I wish I was friends with David Perron. Like when I see him, we're good. I'd like to get a text from him once in a while.
Text him.
I would like to be text friends with David Perron. Can you make that happen, Ken?
Yeah, I kind of can.
Like if you told him he'll know me that way, and then just say, "Hey, can I give him a number and can you shoot him a text? Will you do that for me? I got you.
I don't
got
bug
you
guys.
Tumblr.
I don't bug guys. But if I call David Perron right now, I bet you'd answer.
I'm
not gonna do it.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about you.
Well, that's the start of it. I got to get a hold of him
All right, get a hold of him and say, "Can you shoot Jim Hayes a text and pretend you're buddies?"
and say,
with him?"
hey. And then you'd clip that off and post it on Twitter. Be like, look,
No,
we're
I would
friends.
never do that.
We're
but you know what I
friends.
would do? I would say, "Hey, Tyler,
Oh,
I'm just texting David Perron back because he texted me."
he's wondering what I was doing today. Well, I told him I was going to see Maverick.
Listen, if Caruso's listening, I may be the only person that does this. Caruso gave me David Perron's number like 10 years ago
Yeah.
for a story. And we did the story, and then he did an autograph signing out at the Chesterfield Mall, so I had to meet up with him to figure out when to do the interview. But that might have been 8 years ago, and I've never texted him since because I don't bother these guys.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but sometimes if you get a Cardinal or a Blues player's number, you try to get the guy in the show once a month. I don't ever do that. So, Caruso, if you're listening, you can continue
Yes.
to give me the players' numbers. I don't abuse my privileges.
Yeah.
So Nate can vouch for this. I have numbers for a lot of guys, and I don't give them out to anyone because if someone says, "Hey, I'll give you my number, please don't pass it around," because especially in sports talk radio, once it's around,
They'll get
it's
annoyed,
around.
yeah.
So at the beginning, when I didn't trust Nate because he used to be part of the crime family that was in power here, I didn't trust him. So I would actually bring the number in and then take it back, right? But now I give him every number because I trust him because I believe he is not part of the crime family.
Good luck. Hey, try to get a
Thank
number
you.
from Andy.
That's true, though, right?
You'd have to kill
I
him.
would safeguard those numbers.
Yes.
To Rolodex.
But do you really think that Nate can't figure out that number somehow?
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, it was really Holiday and Bader's number.
Right.
I mean, I had Mosailox and I had Kisner's.
Oh.
You had Kisner's number already?
Yeah.
He has him on. I told you, we stole Kisner from Nate.
Oh.
We,
Good
so
one,
you actually
Jimmy.
had. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
But
either.
my point was, Charlie, you should be applauded for safeguarding the
Thank
number.
you.
I safeguarded the number.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys will just get it and pass it around. Hey, let's call. I know a guy who was like, hey, let's call this guy. No. Like you're out having drinks
But
with your
Jimmy,
buddies and you got
listen,
and
who
you're
gives a damn, though? I get numbers. My numbers passed around to everybody in this damn town.
well, you're a media guy.
Well, even
And when you
before
were
that.
but you were kind of transitioning. You were doing that strategically
Dude.
because you wanted to be a media
If
guy.
somebody calls you, don't answer it. If they don't leave a message, then screw them. If they don't text you, then screw them. If they do text you, you don't know who they are, screw them. If they leave you a message and it's not important, screw them. If it is important, call them back.
Now, what you
That's
just said is very important for context because I actually was going to text you guys last night. Per request, I did text Holiday and say, "Hey, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Can you come on the show? Let me know." And I haven't heard back. So screw them is what you're saying.
Well, you know what I mean.
I think it's the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think they play tomorrow. But they probably have practices and stuff. And so I texted him, if you can. And the last reply I got from him when I asked him if he'd be there for the announcement of, I knew they were in the tournament. I just wasn't sure where, it was a Big 12 tournament. They have a regional next. And I said, are you going to be here perchance for the announcement? And he said, Jim, I have a job.
Hold on, though. And this is where we need to hold Matt Holliday accountable, especially now that he's a Cardinals Hall of Famer.
And that he's not listening. So you
and
can't.
he's not listening.
Yeah.
But we can go on Twitter and bring this up. It seems like he's been skirting his responsibility on this show, but then I saw him tweet out that he and his wife had Buster Posey and Buster Posey's wife on their Table 40 podcast.
Unacceptable.
So it seems like he's prioritizing his podcast over this show.
In fairness, Monday was a holiday, so we did not have a show. So he really didn't skirt anything. His slot is Monday.
Last week, though,
Am I right?
Yeah.
last week
He's starting to.
we had a 5-minute interview. I mean,
did call back.
The Post Sports Bar and Grill, they're in for a nice, solid,
I'm hungry.
substantive 20, 25-minute segment. Big bucks.
Let's see here. Timmy Van Geller chimes in and goes, what do you guys think O'Reilly's next contract looks like? I see him and Perron as a package combo. Yeah, man. Again, O'Reilly, God, he played fantastic, does all the little things. But will he age well, too? Like, he's not quick. I always just look at the quickness, but he still gets around. He's still smart enough to be able to get from point A to point B, although you're not that quick. He's smart. Yeah, man.
But if you had to pick one guy who was the engine for the Blues, it's him, right?
Yeah. He's your leader.
So you're
pay him.
gonna have a car without an engine?
Well, he might want, I don't know, he might want a lot of money.
But
So you
don't
might want a different engine? You
Yeah,
want-
exactly. So how do you balance that?
Don't you think all these guys, if you keep them, they all end up around 6.5?
Yeah.
O'Reilly's making, 7.5? He's got to come down a little bit because he's on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
Perron absolutely outperformed his contract. He deserves a little more.
Yep.
And let's be real, Tarasenko, that just probably long-term is not going to happen.
Yep, that makes sense.
I don't know if Perron at this stage is going to get more. Like, I think if you can get him for less or the same, then you do it. Like, I think if you go 4-4, you could get him.
4
I think.
years?
No, 2 years, 4 per.
I don't think he signs that.
Who are you talking about?
Perron?
$4 million? No way.
No,
No way. That's too much money on the table.
that's why you got to get me texting with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
You
could
gotta
be like
talk
a
to him.
covert agent for Doug Armstrong.
Yeah, you got things for him. You got things they add, Let's see here. Ball and Bandit chimes in, who loves Sir Nathaniel, of course. Cam, would you have trained or done anything differently to improve your game when you played? Yeah, I probably wouldn't have got addicted to painkillers. That would have helped a lot. I mean, a lot. But as far as my training, dude, I was psycho. I did all of it. Stick handle to box to speed work to all that, man, like a nutbag, but I was burning both ends, so you're not getting your full amount of training because you're doing other things. But, yeah, man, The addiction thing screwed everything up. But the work ethic, I couldn't have done anymore. Like, I was about to drop. You can't, there's only so much you could do. But I was in shape, man. It just, that hurt me. Big time. Cam, can't buy your own Arenado jersey. Time to move out of St. Albans. Stay sexy. Yeah, I know. It is kind of bush league on my part to make Jimmy give me another toy.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
I swear I'm going to give it to
I don't want
children.
I'm not,
Yeah.
No, if you don't have a kid in mind,
I do.
I'm not giving it to you.
I certainly do.
You're just making that up.
No, I do. And
to cover your tracks that you want
and
an
he's not in my
Arenado jersey. I'm glad to
neighborhood.
do it.
He's not a kid in my neighborhood, okay? He's a kid in the blue-collar part of Eureka.
Oh, you can't give a nice rich kid a jersey?
No, I can't.
Stop the class warfare.
No, I'm not doing that.
Sounds like
He's going to be a good old boy.
Sounds like you're anti-privilege.
I am.
And by the way, you're getting close to my age. I just turned 40. You don't need to be wearing a jersey at our age.
I know. I sweat so much anyway. Although, if I have that jersey on, the sweat doesn't show up. See, when I sweat in these kind of shirts, look, it's like, But if I have that Arenado jersey, I'll be soaked, but you can't see it. It's all about optics.
So it isn't for a kid.
It is, but I'll buy my own.
No,
that's not going to fit me.
You
anyway.
may step down.
It's not
You
going to fit
just
me.
talked about
You're
how
right.
you want it so you don't show
Did I
your
put my
sweat.
foot in my mouth again? Yeah, you're right.
You don't
may
even
step
want
down.
this.
I don't.
This is like you talking about women's softball.
I like women's softball. I want to give it to a child and make him smile of happiness. I like when people, selfishly, I like when other people are happy and I make them happy. So I feel happy that they're happy. So it's really selfish on my part.
Kind of like when you came in and stole the shirt out of the room yesterday.
I wear that damn
that
thing.
Jimmy gave me.
I wear that thing.
You know, this is what he would do to the kid with the Arenado jersey. He would just steal
When that
the
happened,
jersey.
Hey, look
when
over
that
there.
happened, though, that showed you the pecking order at the show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, all right, this goes to, and then Cam's like, I'm taking that. I'm like, okay.
Timmy Van Gelder, do you guys think O'Reilly could eventually take on the Steen role of the fourth line shutdown leader in his last year or two? Well, I kind of hope not.
5 years from now?
Like, yeah, if he's but I don't want him making $6 million doing that. Like, you looked at Steenie Weenie's contract, you're like, oh boy. And we talked to Sonny the other day, and he talked about Steiner, and he wasn't happy at the beginning of that, but Steiner came back around and became a leader. Because, you know, you get put to the side after being a goal scorer for a while, you kind of bitch a little bit. And so he figured it out, and he took that line, and he was great with that whole line. He would text them and do all this stuff, like motivational stuff with Sonny and Barbie, and it worked. But he was making a lot of money on the fourth line. But it wasn't a fourth line because they played and they started games and stuff like that. So it all worked out. But you don't want your top guy making 6 on the fourth line unless that fourth line's playing 15 minutes.
This is what I don't understand about hockey. Okay, like they always change lines, and I get it. It's sort of like the batting order. Like you're gonna renovate it a little bit depending on matchups or who's hot and who's not. But I would think that would be a great roadmap on how to build lines is if you keep them together, let them form their own identity, let them have their own leadership within that line. Of
course.
And then they want to show they're always together, and it's them against the world within the team concept.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you have each line thinking like that, and it's like there's more fire instead of interchanging it where who you with, it doesn't matter, let's go. You know what I mean?
I get it.
But
Well,
teams don't do that generally.
They want to do it, but guys get hurt, and lines aren't successful sometimes. So you have to switch it up, and sometimes you got to switch that up, and you have a good line, but you got to put that guy there and this guy. So yeah, like that's ideal, but sometimes it doesn't work out. In that particular situation, it did. But those guys were playing 14 minutes a night, and they were penalty killing, so the money was. But if Brian O'Reilly's playing 7 minutes a night and he's not PKing and he's making $6 million, then that's kind of a problem.
I also think, I'm just throwing this out there as a cautionary tale. I'm not saying it's apples to apples, but Ryan O'Reilly's deal is up next year. That will be following his age 31 season.
Yep.
You had another player in the last 10 years that also everybody wanted to re-sign following his age 31 season. Mm-hmm. They let that man walk, or he walked, and that man was David Backes. And that contract with the Bruins was atrocious. Now, I'm not saying that Ryan O'Reilly will have the exact same path, but they will be the exact same age when that deal ends. O'Reilly will have finished his age 31 season, which was the season where David Backes left.
Great point.
I think that is a very astute point.
And here's the deal, though. David Backes took an MF and beating, boy. his body took a beating. He got knocked out. He got rocked. He penalty killed and took shots off the everywhere in his body. His hands, his feet, everywhere. He goes into corners 100 miles an hour and misses guys and falls into the boards. Remember wakey? That's, like all that.
I remember that.
Does Ryan O'Reilly ever get hit? Does he ever fall?
No, but there's a lot of contact. I'm not
Block
saying
shots.
it's the same. It's real. They're not the giant ones, that make the highlight reel. But his body has to be
smart
beat
though.
up.
But like the different, like it is, but not as much as backs. Like I could look in his face and see him aging. I love you, Bax. You're so handsome, dude. Way better looking than I am. But
Loves the dogs and cats.
Loves the
too.
dog. He's got a one-eyed cat. He wants me to adopt it. I can't do that.
What's the name of it?
I like two-eyed cats. What?
What's the name of the cat? One-Eyed Willie?
One-eyed Willie. Yeah. Something like that. What movie was that?
Backus and his
Sounds
wife.
like a pirate.
What movie was that? One-eyed Willie. It was
That was probably
Goonies.
Goonies.
Great movie. Somebody actually posted something of the 1987 movie theater. I think it was Crestwood, and it had RoboCop. It had that vampire movie that we like with Corey Haim on it. Like two other huge movies in the 80s, like Top Gun, maybe something like that. It was like just a nostalgia, cool thing. And I thought of Maverick. We're all going to go to a movie theater the first time since I saw Titanic with my lovely date Eric Bolton back in 2012, and it made me feel good.
You held hands.
And we cried. And we're tough guys.
Let me ask you this: Kelly McGillis. Hot or not?
No.
And we're not saying we're great looking.
No,
I just
no.
want an opinion. We're not trying to be
Tom
mean.
Cruise was way too good looking for her.
All right, Seth, Kelly McGillis, original Top Gun. Did you think at the time she was attractive?
No.
Charlie?
This is a narrative. This is a narrative that's been driven by how she's aged.
No,
She's aged.
No,
She's aged very poorly.
I'm not-
Don't put words in my mouth.
It's not a narrative. Honestly.
Yes, it is.
It isn't.
It's a national narrative. It's a
don't-
meme.
I don't follow. I don't know that. I've
It
never
should have been a
seen
meme in
any of it.
'86.
I just remember someone bringing it up because at the time I didn't think she was
you.
attractive. Not that I'm not, it's not even trying to be, but as a leading lady,
Yes.
did I find her? No. And so I'm just asking, did you or did I'm not? We're not being mean. I don't even know what she. I read somewhere she has an age. Well, I haven't seen the picture.
You're not
In
being
the
mean.
original.
You're not being mean, but you are lying.
I was being mean.
And here's where you're lying.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are. Here's why. Because if you put yourself,
You tell me
hold on.
I'm always lying.
You are.
When I'm not.
You are. Here's why. I'm going to explain why all of you are lying. Because if you put yourself back in 1986 and you are a single gentleman and you're at the bar and I'm showing you the picture and you're a single dude and you meet her and she goes, "Hey, big boy, I like you. Let's go back to my place."
No.
You're freaking
I was 2 years
lying.
old. I couldn't do anything.
I just said, put yourself as a 25-year-old.
Oh, hell yeah, baby.
Thank you.
I wanted them
Thank you.
40-year-olds.
Which is what? No, she was the same age as you.
Oh.
Put yourself in that spot. You meet her at a bar. You're single. You are 100% going out with her.
Yes.
You're all lying.
I would have
No,
done a lot of things.
No,
back then.
How many
because
beers we
that's not
talking?
really the question.
You don't need any beers.
That's not even the question. Charlie,
Dude, you act like she's not good looking. I
Charlie-
understand if you say, okay, she's not Miss
For
America.
me, she's good looking.
Charlie,
For
no
Tom Cruise,
offense.
no.
Cam had a few beers. He would have gone home with you. That's
I
not
know.
the question.
He has before.
Seth, look,
In 08.
I know you're not that old, but in the original, do you think she would? We're talking about as a leading lady. Did you think? That's a whole different thing. People hold that to a higher standard.
You said
it's
yeah?
a different question.
I think she's beautiful.
Oh,
right.
get out of here,
That's fine.
I do.
Nathaniel.
All right, good.
But again, you guys are all lying because I said the situation I brought up, every single one of you, the single guy, if Kelly McGillis in 1986 comes up to you and says, "Let's go back to my place."
Yes.
Thank you. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But I would
You're
say
all lying.
I would,
You're lying if
but I
you
would
say
fine. I would
otherwise.
leave right away. I
Wait,
wouldn't
that-
snuggle with
was
her.
that the
I'd leave
question?
right away.
No, he changes the question. Did you find her hot as a leading lady? As I said, you answer that, and I said 2 beers and Cam. He would have taken you
Yes.
home, Charlie.
But I've gotten better over the
And
years.
you're not a leading lady, though you could be.
She just, it didn't add up because of how handsome Tom Cruise was in that movie.
I'm uncomfortable
I like
with
Meg
that.
Ryan.
You love to talk about the handsomeness of guys.
Well?
And outside of Sean Connery, I don't recognize any man as handsome except for the late great
What
Sean
if he was
Connery.
with her? He was with.
Would you have gone home with Sean Connery if you're in a bar and he goes, "Hello, sir"? Yes, you would have.
I don't know.
That's a yes.
Just for the
Maybe
story.
Tom didn't want to be one-upped in the movie. by
That's true.
a better looking.
And she needed to look
Co-star.
professional too, because she was like head of the,
She was in a position of authority.
yeah. That's
that was
sexy.
attractive
Yeah.
to Tom Cruise. Okay, apparently in this new movie, this Jennifer Connelly character, I believe, is a bartender. So he's gone from the authority figure in the Navy to now he's with kind of the every woman. I believe she's a single mom.
I will say that Tom Cruise was a little creepy in a couple ways. Now, I liked when they're at the bar, and he turns on the music. You never close your eyes anymore. That was
Sing
me.
the whole thing.
That was me, not Jim. We're gonna play that song coming back. That's forgot who it is, but we're gonna figure it out. So he sings that song. He looks cool. They do their thing, and then she sits down, and then she goes to the bathroom in the ladies' bathroom, and old Pepe Le Pew is like, and goes in there and like just hangs out with her while she's like kind of just got done going to the bathroom, and she's like washing her hands. I thought that was bizarre. I wouldn't do that.
Here's another hot take. I think Tom Cruise has had some amazing performances. Like I like his movies. One of the things with like a star like him, if you go see a Tom Cruise movie, you know the effort and the budget's there.
Gonna be
there. You're going to get your money's worth when you go see a Tom Cruise movie. I didn't think he was very good in that movie as an actor. I didn't think he was great. Few Good Men, brilliant. Like
You didn't think he was good in Top Gun?
No. And also, what was the other one? That movie about him being the bartender.
Cocktail.
Hate that.
Stupid.
Great movie.
Hate
Stupid.
That. Hate that movie.
Great-
And I don't think he's good in that.
Great 80s movie.
And that's why it's Hot Take Central, because I'm going to say the things that people are afraid to say.
I want to see this
I'm
dude with the
brave.
breasts. Oh.
Entertaining movie, great soundtrack, by the way, Kokomo. Tom Cruise is not winning Oscars. You watch him for the action and for the women he's with and the soundtrack. It's the 80s. He's the prettiest man I've ever seen in my life. That's Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, no doubt. Sierra with an S chimes in and goes, no, Seth. You should have said yes, she's beautiful.
Okay.
She's chirping you.
Sierra, you're listening.
Oh, no. That's
I know.
it's a lose-lose.
No,
I know.
no.
Stand
We're
your
all
ground.
married here, dude.
Stand
I
your
said,
ground.
put us back in the 80s. So, Sierra, you're listening. Please text in. Sierra, Kelly McGillis, 1986, Top Gun. What do you think of her? I want a woman's perspective. So, Sierra,
A
either
woman.
call in.
And if Charlie
or
doesn't
text
agree,
in.
he's going to call you a liar.
You're a liar. Then.
Well, you are lying. You're 100% lying.
Was the question,
What was
would you go home with a woman in a bar? That wasn't the question.
That wasn't the question. I said yes to
She's
that.
an attractive woman.
I said she wasn't attractive enough for that role. That's what I said, and I'm standing my damn ground on it. I thought it when I was young. I didn't say I wouldn't do anything with her when I was young. I'm just saying she didn't add up to the beauty of Tom Cruise in that role. That's it. That's it. I'm standing my ground. That was the question, and I gave you the answer.
And I could tell you back then, I didn't think she was attractive. If I saw her in a bar when I was single many years ago, maybe.
I saw
But
it.
that wasn't the question.
Maybe you would bestow. Oh, Jim Hayes might actually go out with Kelly McGillis.
I'm a PM. But that
I
wasn't
do
what
what
I'm
I'm
told.
told.
But that wasn't the question. That's the Charlie game of
That's
changing
true.
the question.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question. Elizabeth Shue was a dime in Cocktail. Charlie's YouTube fan.
I'll fight anybody over Elizabeth Shue.
Send
right
me a
now.
picture. Send me a picture.
I will fight you over the Elizabeth Shue from Adventures in Babysitting, Cocktail. I liked more of the Girl Next Door look, but then she got a little racier in Leaving Las Vegas.
Racier.
You don't remember? She was the stripper. She was the prostitute with Nicolas Cage, who went to Vegas to drink himself to death. You don't remember the scene by the pool?
I don't remember that.
That's a dark movie.
What movie is that called?
Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Nicolas Cage basically goes to Las Vegas to drink himself to death, and he does. And he meets a prostitute who he basically falls in love with, who's played by Elizabeth Shue.
And if you
Usually
said,
doesn't work out.
hey, in Top Gun it was Elizabeth Shue as the leading lady, I would never have brought up that question.
Yeah, I'd be like, she's a dime, just like you said. I also want to address the point that Tom Cruise also doesn't age. He must be a vampire. Well, he was in a movie called Vampire Diaries?
Interview with a Vampire.
Vampire Diaries. That was a goofy-ass show. Interview with the Vampire with Brad Pitt. That was kind of cool. So he might be a vampire. I don't know.
So,
Whatever
and
he's
plus-
taking, I want.
But I give him, like, he does his own stunts. Like, I'm a fan of, like I said, any movie you see that's a Tom Cruise movie, you're going to get your money's worth. And he does his own stunts. I just felt like a couple of his performances, and I think he's a really good actor. I just think some are better than others. And I hated the movie Cocktail.
I tell you what, is Kenny Loggins? Is he doing the? What about the music in this new Maverick movie? Because look, if the movie's going to be somewhat equal or better than the first one, you better have some badass songs in that mug. Just like the intro of I-86 Top Gun was one of the best intros ever, with the soft music on the aircraft, with the smoke and everything, and all of a sudden it kicks into gear like wow, and they shoot off with a jet, and Kenny Loggins' Highway to the Danger Zone kicks in.
That was Kenny Loggins?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
dude.
This
he's
one
badass.
is the whole score is by the Jay Giles Band.
And then the other one was
By the way, Kenny Loggins, I looked this up recently. If you ask about any 80s song, any movie, any soundtrack, it's basically Kenny Loggins. He was the soundtrack.
Caddyshack, right?
Caddyshack. Every
That's
good,
right.
iconic,
That's right.
poppy 80s movie, almost all of them are Kenny
not
Loggins.
Ghostbusters.
You know, here's another hot take. I was more of a Messina guy than a Loggins guy. Remember that he wasn't Kenny, it was Loggins and Messina that had the hit. No one remembers Messina.
Because we're 40 years old.
No.
No one remembers Messina.
Hey, this Sunday, by the way, Auto House, right there on Hanley. We're going to be there. They got the European Auto Show. I don't have my live read. I don't know why I keep throwing that damn thing away. Well, I will get, but I know exactly what we're doing. Oh, can I grab that real quick from you? This Sunday, 11 to 2.
11 to 1.
Yeah, well, the thing's from, give me that damn thing. Thank you. Here, I'll read it for real this time. It is from 11 to 2. We're there from 11 to 1. We're going to be high-fiving everybody, doing our thing. We have the show there right at Auto House, Mini Cooper, 40 Sun and Drive in Maplewood. My wife will be there too, by the way, so she'll be signing autographs, $10 a piece. If there's a long line, I'm going to kick it up to 15. It is what it is. Event time, 11 to 2. The broadcast time, 11 to 1 this Sunday. I told you, the European Auto Show, tradition since 1987. The event is benefiting the St. Louis Arc, which is a nonprofit United Way agency that provides support to more than 4,000 adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout the St. Louis area. They're fantastic, guys. There are no entry fees for spectators, but donations are strongly encouraged. Come out and view the best European automobiles St. Louis has to offer while hanging out with Kate and Nate and me. Hi.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you have glossies that you bring with you
What
to
does that
sign?
mean? Yo, God, yeah. Like Bobby Plager, baby. Damn right.
All right, because
Always.
That's good because then you can give someone some. They're a Cam Jansen fan. They stop by.
Yeah.
They get a nice picture with
Or
an
a
autograph.
jersey.
That's
or
nice.
an honor jersey or something.
You have those, Charlie,
I actually do still.
from Channel 2? Mm-hmm. We got to get them made up for Nate and Seth.
Let's see.
Nobody wants mine, though. Except for my
do.
dad.
I'd like one.
My dad was at my house recently, and he saw them. They were in the garage.
So what?
I had these glossies. Fox 2 makes these promo pictures. They were sitting in my garage with leaves on them. My dad goes, "Hey, can I have some of those?" I was like, "Dad, they're in the garage with bird poop on them."
proud
Yes.
of you.
Yes, you can have all of them.
He loves you.
He does.
What? That's nice. Did you give it to him?
Yes, I said you can have all of them. Nobody wants these
didn't
besides
want
my
all
family
of them. He
members.
didn't want
And what do you
Take
do?
them
Throw
all.
them away or something?
He probably would have tried to charge people for them.
He didn't
at
want
flea
He
market.
just wanted a couple because he's proud of you.
He's proud of you.
You know what I have in my garage that I will not part with, and I have about 20 of them left? Vote Jim Hayes lawn signs that you stick in the ground. Red, white, and blue from when I ran.
I want one of those.
Me too.
I want to put it in Charlie's lawn. I'm gonna. Who did that?
You know who'll take it down? Tim Jankerson, St. Louis Lawn Care.
Oh, that's right.
He ain't gonna mow around that bad boy.
No.
Would you proudly put that in your lawn until Tim took it down or no?
No.
That hurts my feelings.
I will not put any sign in my yard for any politician.
Can I tell you
My
this?
buddies, my
Anyone
buddies
like
did
to
take some
agree
Trump
with Jim.
signs and put them on, stick them on some trucks of my other buddies that weren't Trump, and it was pretty funny.
I hate when people, I don't care who you're supporting in an election, when people get mad at who, the sign you put up. I mean, grow
Or
up.
they, like,
I don't
take it-
care.
they take it out.
Or
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get mad. But I will say this, when I was running, because we had this litigation, I don't know if you heard about it.
No.
But around their house, all their neighbors had buy signs in there. They were surrounded by a sea of Vote Jim Hayes signs.
And they're just staring at it every time they go get their mail.
You have a pained look on your face.
No, I have a hot take on this.
All right.
Unless you're actually running or a family member, I don't think anybody should ever put a sign in their yard for any politician.
Why?
Because they're all crooks.
I didn't want any signs in
I
my
don't
yard
think,
either.
Like, you want to put a bumper sticker on your car and all of a sudden 50% of the drivers hate you?
There it is.
Either way, You want to put a sign in your yard of a politician you know nothing about, who's probably corrupt as hell, and then 2 years later has either a corruption or sex scandal, which happens for all of them.
Is that
I don't want to
upon?
represent any of these people whatsoever.
But people should be allowed to, if they feel
agree.
that way,
This is
let
America.
them speak.
Yeah, guess what?
with you.
I'm allowed to say, I think you're a Hoosier for doing that.
Okay. Now,
Were you
what about-
looking at me when you said that?
I'm sure you don't do that.
No, I don't.
Maybe if it's like you would put Stoops' sign in because he's your buddy.
Yeah.
I get that.
So the
I
people,
probably still
the
wouldn't do
people
that.
in my neighborhood that supported me, was that okay? Because this was a real. It doesn't get any more local than that issue. Were they okay, or are they all Hoosiers? My
I
friends
would-
in the neighborhood.
I had a sign recently, and I just think if you don't know that person, like a family member, why put it in your yard? You don't know that person.
Because they were supporting a local issue. And plus, my campaign slogan was pretty good. Yes, I'm crooked, but not as bad as the other guy.
I'm just saying, I will never again put a bumper sticker on my car, ever. I'm not putting any signs in
never have.
unless it's
I never
a
have.
close personal
I
friend.
understand what you're saying. I never have, except for my own campaign sign and got all the
I just like to do it
neighborhood.
to other
but-
people. I like to put other signs in people's yards and on their car that they hate.
Well,
And they
dude,
wake
back
up
in the
next
day, that's what we did
It's
as high
adult
school
TPing.
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best. It didn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. You would get your pickup truck as a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
You would go through a neighborhood. You would pick up 100 signs. You would steal a sign from everybody's yard, and then you'd put it in one person's yard. You'd put
Yeah.
78 signs
Did you
in your
do
friend's
that?
yard. Oh, we did it all the time.
We did it to my uncle.
That's more creative because what we used to do is one of our friends in the neighborhood's dad was a fisherman, so he had all these literally hundreds of fish in this freezer. We would let them thaw, cut the heads off, and then we would wait in this little, sort of like a funnel of traffic, and we would wait in the bushes, and we would just throw fish heads at
That's
cars.
god awful. That's mean
That was bad.
to do. Chuckles, I'll take one glossy if you Photoshop Lydia Moss Bradley in the background with a knife. Ooh, the bastard of James
Well,
Hahn.
I can do that on Photoshop right now.
Classic Loggins and Messina. Your Mama Don't Dance. Blast from the Past. Great stuff.
That's
636.
them?
That's them.
That's a great song.
Now I know what you're talking about.
We're playing that coming back. I'll
I'm
write
with
that
you,
down.
kitty cat. Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll is the best Loggins song.